We're excited to participate here in the Skyline Crosstown Shootout tomorrow night, which is the best rivalry in all of college basketball. You know, there's a lot of different rivalries around the country. You think of, rivalries like Duke, Carolina, obviously Louisville, Kentucky. The thing that makes this so unique is you have two great programs located in the same city. And, I got a lot of respect for Coach Miller and his team. They're going to be a team that's going to play really hard. They're going to be really tough. They're big. They're physical. They're terrific defensively. They block a lot of shots. They'll turn you over. They're going to make you work on the offensive end. And on the other end, they got a couple special players. I mean, they really do. David DeJulius is playing at a very, very, very high level. Can really score. He's creative. Coach Miller's given him a lot of freedom out there to play. And he's taking advantage of it, man. He's playing at a high level right now. And then you got Davenport, who's just really tough. Makes shots, scores, rebounds. He impacts the game in a lot of different ways. So, they got a lot of different guys who can score the ball. They're a deep team. They're, like I said, they got a lot of size off the bench. Mikey Saunders is playing at a really high level. He's really taken a step forward going into his sophomore year. So, I always say this in the shootout, it's a player's game. And our players can't look over at the bench and look for a whole lot of help. Man, this environment's going to be absolutely electric. You won't be able to hear anything in here tomorrow night. It'll be the best environment in all of college basketball. But it's a game of toughness, and it's going to be who's going to win the war on the glass, who's going to take care of the ball. Ultimately, those will be the things that'll dictate this game.
Coach, how do you arrive or decide to maybe tinker with your starting lineup? Because I know, obviously, it's probably not going to be forever that you're going to keep a first-team preseason All-Big East guy coming off the bench. So what's that process like to get there to say, you know what, I think it's time to maybe tinker with this?
Yeah, I think it just takes a little bit of time, Adam. Obviously Zach's a tremendous player, and he kind of knew we had these discussions leading up to him coming back. Like, hey, listen, you're not going to be thrusted back in a starting lineup. That's not fair to the other guys on the team. You got to kind of earn your way back in there through practice, games. And he's obviously playing at a very high level right now. We're getting him back there. And shoot, you can make the same case for Jack Nungy, right? I mean, Jack's playing at a really high level. We have more than 5 starters, and I think that's the advantage of this team. And our guys understand, listen, it's all about winning at the end of the day. Nothing else matters. But moving forward, we will obviously look at it and kind of continue to evaluate it moving forward.
You mentioned UC's defense and that size that they have around the rim, but not only do they have that size around the rim, but they're really good at defending the three-point line. So when you have a matchup like that against a team that doesn't give a lot of open looks on the perimeter and they make it really hard to attack the rim, like, what's that challenge look like? How do you sort of break through on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I think that trust has to really be there against a team like UC. They're going to block a lot of shots around the rim with all their size and length. They're going to flood to the ball. They're going to rotate. They're going to play hard. You have to move the ball. You got to keep the ball hot. If you keep the ball hot, I think we can get some good looks. I really do. But if the ball gets sticky, or you take one extra bounce or one extra dribble when you shouldn't, that's going to be advantage UC.
Travis, one of the unique challenges UC provides is between Mike Adams-Woods and Mikey Saunders. They kind of use Mike as their, get everyone set, be patient offense, and they could bring Mikey in and kind of really be a track meet with him. How do you kind of prepare your guards in that circumstance for really changing the pace as well as they do throughout the game?
Yeah, I think, like I said it earlier, but I think Mikey Saunders taking a big jump from his freshman to sophomore year. They change when they comes in, a little bit like how we do with D.O. Right, with DeJuan, it's like, man, all of a sudden we play a little bit faster and we pick up a little bit more. Mikey, he lives in that paint. He plays really fast. He's fearless. We got to do a great job stopping the ball and building walls around that ball. It's not just one guy's job to stop Mikey. It's going to be everybody, all 5 guys. He can't see anywhere to go, right? There's got to be walls everywhere when he's bringing that ball up the floor.
And then off the bench, they have Victor Locken, who is finally getting to play, has really been impressive so far. How do you prepare for a guy like that who can just kind of be a microwave but also have that size?
Yeah, he's good, man. He didn't really play last year. I don't know if he was injured or whatnot, at least when we played him. I didn't watch him after we played them last year, but he's a good player. He's big. He's skilled. They're going to post him. They're going to play through him some. Like you said, he's a microwave, and he's got terrific size. He's a matchup problem, and he's part of what makes him really hard to guard.
Do you go back at all with Wes Miller? Have you guys crossed paths before?
Never have. I've never met him. I don't know if it's just coincidence throughout the years in recruiting, but never have met him.
You've been around this rivalry a long time, head coach, assistant coach here at Xavier. Sometimes it becomes a bit of a petty war of words, and some people like that in a rivalry. I don't know if you saw what Wes Miller said this week, calling Xavier Xavier, and a lot of people think he did it on purpose to try to dig at the program. Did you see that? Do you have a reaction? Do you like that kind of thing between coaches?
I didn't see it. We got to educate him, though. It's Xavier. All right, I think everybody should know that in the entire country. Xavier's been a tremendous program for a long, 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 long time. I think we've earned that respect over the years.
What do you like about this rivalry as a head coach?
This is what we all work for. Listen, this is it means so much to both fan bases, the entire city, to all of our alumni, our former players, former managers, former coaches. We hear from all of them kind of leading up to this game. They take a lot of pride in this game. So our guys understand, man, this means a heck of a lot. It means a heck of a lot. I want our guys to embrace it, enjoy it. Life is all about experiences. And I tell everyone, all the former players that come back and talk to our guys, they would do anything to play in this game right here again. And they have those memories with them for the rest of their lives, right? Like, embrace it, have fun, play hard, understand what you're playing for is for everybody that's ever went to this university here at Xavier, a Xavier fan, and our former players.
This will be your fourth shootout as head coach, and I'd imagine that the conversation before the game is pretty similar year to year. You probably say a lot of the same things, but when your team walks out on that floor tomorrow night, what do you want them thinking about? What's that message going to be to them going into this game?
Yeah, again, I say it every year. It's a player's game. It always has been, always will be. Don't look over at the bench. It's a game of toughness. The tougher team will prevail. The better team doesn't always prevail in this game, and I think that's shown through the years. I think the tougher team always wins this game.
Guys like Abdul Adu, you kind of mentioned, obviously, he led the country last year in shot blocks per game. Is this a game with this size, like Abdul, like Locken? Is this a game where you might look more to a guy like Ben Stanley to get some minutes?
You very well could. He's Ben's still kind of getting back to 100%. It's a process to get him there. But I do think, and you mentioned it with Adu and Victor, all these guys, all the size and length that they got around the rim, we have to make them uncomfortable, right? We got to use their aggressiveness against them. And our guys, the good thing is we've played against a team, I shouldn't say that they're similar to UC, but they are somewhat similar in Oklahoma State, right? I think Oklahoma State's a little more athletic. Maybe UC's a little bigger, but their style is very, very similar on the defensive end. From their presence around the rim, blocking shots and everything that they do, it's kind of similar. So we've seen this type of defense before, which is good here, especially recently.
And then you mentioned David DeJulius earlier, obviously a veteran in the game, but has the ability at times to kind of rush his shots when he's uncomfortable. How much is that kind of like is that a Nate Johnson situation more for you? Is that a Paul Scruggs or everybody or?
Man, I'd say everybody. He is as creative as a guard as we played against all year. He can get his own shot whenever he wants. He's just so skilled in the mid-range, threes, at the rim. He's tremendous. He's playing at a very, very, very high level. All five guys on the floor are going to have to stop him.
8:30 is a late start. Tomorrow is probably going to seem like a lifetime away when you wake up in the morning. But what's the lead up to for you throughout the day look like? How are you going to spend that time until we get to tip-off?
Honestly, just like I would do in a normal weekday game. Like you said, 8:30 is a late tip for a weekend. I think a lot of the Xavier fans will probably be doing a lot of extracurricular activities beforehand, a little consumption of some things. I'm not going to be doing that, though, right? But I'm going to get up, I'm going to work out, have breakfast with my wife like I always do on game day, prepare just like we normally do. We'll have shoot around 5 hours before, 3:30, and then we'll move forward from there. And I know some of the Xavier fans, school's not in session right now, right? We're out, but this thing will be absolutely packed. I know they're planning on surrounding the arena like they normally do. So I want to give these students the experience that they deserve.
Kiki missed last game with the flu, and he wasn't at practice again today. Is he still dealing with that?
Yeah, he was out today as well with the flu. Hopefully we can get him back either tomorrow or the following day, hopefully soon.
Are you planning on another trip to Dana's if you guys win?
Don't want to ever talk about I don't want to ever put the horse before the cart. Would love to, though. Would love to make that trip.
How hard is it for a road team to win the Crosstown Shootout?
I think all these games are hard, Joe, I'll be honest. And I think you can look at the numbers and say, well, hey, it's the home teams won most of them. Shoot, we won last year. I know people are going to say, hey, it was COVID-19. We've won at UC before. Personally, this is me. I think it's overrated. I think it's all in your mind. It's all about your mindset. Listen, I love playing on the road, personally. I love road games because I love the challenge. I love the feeling of it. There's nothing better than going on the road and getting a win, silencing the crowd, right? That's what anybody that plays at this level, that's what you should want, right? You want that. But again, listen, our fan base is incredible. They got a great fan base as well. It's always loud as heck over there at Fifth Third Arena. Does it play an advantage? Maybe a small one, but what dictates the game, though, let's make this very clear. The players on that floor, they dictate the game. The fans don't. Is that it? Thanks, guys.